Good morning. It is Thursday morning, October the 30th, and here are your headlines for the day. Let's get after this. I got a good bit I want to share with you this morning. Let's start out talking about SNAP. SNAP. Food stamps. Furious SNAP recipients threaten to loot if food stamps are cut on November the 1st, which is 2 days from now. And it looks like it's going to happen. I'm just going to read to you the articles. I got two about this. With benefits poised to halt on November 1st, TikTok has erupted with viral videos of users boldly threatening to raid grocery stores rather than go hungry. An estimated 42 million Americans, 1 in 8 nationwide, rely on these monthly payments, averaging $350 per household for groceries. The crisis stems from congressional gridlock. Democrats blocked a GOP funding bill in the Senate by a 54 to 45 vote, the 13th such rejection. So Democrats keep blocking the funding bill that would fund SNAP. And yet, these people are still blaming Republicans. They're blaming Trump and Republicans. I guess because the Democrats would be fine with just funding SNAP, but that's not right. You know, they're like, well, let's just fund this. Well, no, we're going to fund all of it, and they won't do it. But it's Republicans' fault for not just funding that, I guess. I don't know. The USDA, citing depleted funds, announced it will not dip into $6 billion in contingencies to cover November's payouts. So they do have $6 billion they could use to fund November, but they're not going to do it. This is a first in SNAP's 60-year history. Text alerts warned beneficiaries last week benefits are cut off. Videos are racking up millions of views, and these videos mix desperation with defiance, pinning blame on President Trump, not on the Democrats for voting to keep the government shut down time after time after time, but on President Trump, and vowing self-help through shoplifting sprees, not through getting a job, but through shoplifting sprees. One user, seething over the text alert, warned, I'm going to tell y'all straight up like this. I just got that text that the link is definitely cut the bleep off for November. Y'all better stay the bleep out of my way in these stores because I'm walking out with carts and I'm not paying for bleep. We need to be praying for people working in these Walmart and grocery stores and places like that. Another plotted a Walmart heist. You know what? Since they want to take food stamps away, I'm going to go to blanking Walmart, grab anything I blank want, put that blank right in the basket, and walk right up out that blank. I'm not paying for a blank thing. Escalation threats abound. A creator rallied kin for backup. I'm going to be stealing like it ain't no tomorrow. I'm going to have one of my cousins with me that'll punch your blank so hard you'll think a Jet 2 holiday hit your blink, blink, blank, blank if you think ain't going to walk out that store. I don't know what a Jet 2 holiday is. Direct jabs at the White House intensified. Trump done blanked up. Trump, not the Democrats, Trump. Let's just make it clear, okay? He's talking about people not getting food stamps in November and probably not December. He better get ready because it's about to go down. Another invoked community resolve. What you're going to learn is you don't play with black people's food stamps. Why are they making it about black people? There's white people on food stamps too, right? What? Okay, so get ready because people are about to just start taking blank. Here's a headline related to that. Black woman threatens to hunt down, roast, and eat white people if government assistance is taken away. In a disturbing video, a black woman unleashes a graphic threat against white Americans, vowing to hunt you animals down and roast and eat you if aid vanishes. The unnamed woman addressing the white man declares, I'm here to let you know that we are going to eat regardless. We're going to eat regardless, even if we have to hunt you animals down and roast and eat you. The delectable crackers and cheese. We will make it happen if we have to. Trust and believe me. She frames the crisis as, and this doesn't even make sense. She frames the crisis as a wake-up call for Black self-reliance. And if it takes this government shutdown for Black people to finally come out from under the government and understand that we don't need to be paying our taxes into this government, I'd like to know, is she even paying taxes? What we really need to be doing is taking care of one another, buying land and growing our own food and building our own nation. If this government shutdown and starvation is what it's going to take, then let the party begin. It's Black power, baby, and we rise. Quote, she continues, Black Americans do not care about your government shutdown. Really? And Black Americans do not care about you taking away our EBT and our government assistance. Really? Because Black Americans never depended on the American government to take care of us and feed us. Really? Then what are you yelling about? Why are you upset? Y'all better be careful out there. Moving on, Democrats are preparing to surround the White House with millions of protesters on November 5th, demanding Trump's removal from power. President Trump reacted after Bill Gates appeared to soften his stance on climate change, writing that Bill Gates wrote that the, quote, doomsday view of climate change, in which global catastrophe would occur if rising global temperatures aren't addressed, is wrong. So finally, Bill Gates has come out and said, it's not going to be the end of the world. We've been hearing this ever since the 90s. Remember Al Gore? But, never mind. We were wrong. Bill Gates is saying that. Trump said, we just won the war on the climate change hoax. Bill Gates has finally admitted he was completely wrong on the issue. It took courage to do so, and for that we are all grateful. MAGA. We have a deal. President Trump agrees to cut China tariffs after a high-stakes South Korean summit with China's President Xi. Trump says China pledges to start buying U.S. soybeans and farm goods immediately, probably grown on land they own in the United States. He said that China has vowed to work hard to stop fentanyl from reaching U.S. Quote, Trump, quote, every year we'll renegotiate the deal, but I think it'll go on for a long time. Okay. Back-to-back earthquakes struck off the coast of Oregon. The first quake was a 5.4, hit 100 miles west of Port Orford in Oregon around midday yesterday. A few hours later, a 4.8 magnitude aftershock. ICE and CBP agents are scanning people's faces on the street to verify their citizenship. Now, I'm all for cracking down on illegal immigration, but this is weird. Going up to somebody on the street saying, do you have ID? And they say no. Say, hold on a minute. Put up the phone to the face and scan their face. That's just weird. Putin carries out underwater weapon tests that can produce radioactive tsunamis. The Poseidon torpedo, unveiled in 2018, was fired from a submarine in the Arctic Sea. It was unveiled in 2018. It was just fired from this submarine. Sources claim it reached hypersonic speeds, evading defenses. This weapon is unstoppable, said Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov, emphasizing its 100 megaton warhead capacity. Experts warn of catastrophic impacts. Dr. Elena Kuznetsova, nuclear analyst, stated a detonation near a coastal city could generate a 500-meter radioactive wave, rendering areas uninhabitable for decades. I immediately thought of Luke 21. Listen, this is Jesus' last days teaching. Listen, and there will be signs in the sun and the moon and in the stars, and on the earth, distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Men's hearts failing them from fear and the expectation of those things which are coming on the earth. Donald Trump response to all of this. Quote, this is his post. The United States has more nuclear weapons than any other country. This was accomplished, including a complete update and renovation of existing weapons during my first term in office. Because of the tremendous destructive power, I hated to do it, but I had no choice. Russia is second, China is a distant third, but will be even within 5 years. Because of other countries' testing programs, I have instructed the Department of War to start testing our nuclear weapons on an equal basis. You test one, we'll test one. This process will begin immediately. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Just a couple more. Israel's military. Well, I missed something. Where did I put it? Well, anyway, oh yeah, that's it. So the ceasefire is back in effect over in the Middle East, Israel and Gaza, Hamas. The ceasefire is back in effect. After Hamas killed some IDF soldiers, shot at some, and then Israel bombed some stuff and killed some people, now the ceasefire is back in effect until they start firing at each other again. It'll be in effect until Hamas does something stupid again. But let's talk about Sudan, because anybody ever wants to talk about is Gaza and Israel killing people in Gaza. In fact, the headline said that Israel military announced ceasefires reinstated shortly after carrying out airstrikes across Gaza that killed at least 81 people, including women and children. Everybody's always talking about what Israel military is doing in Gaza. What about Sudan? Massacre at the hospital in Al-Fajr, Sudan. The slaughter is being carried out by the Rapid Support Forces militia, backed by Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, who are all about Israel needs to calm down and we need to have peace in the Middle East, and yet they're backing massacres and killing in the Sudan. A lot of whom is being killed are Christians. In this war in Sudan, there are already 25 million people starving, 522,000 children dead from malnutrition, 14 million people displaced, and tens of thousands murdered, burned alive, hanged, raped, or dismembered while still alive. Over the last 2 days, 2,000 civilians have been massacred in Sudan. The massacre in Sudan is so massive you can see bloodstains from space visible in satellite footage. The Islamist-led ethnic cleansing genocide, where you at, Greta Thunberg, is still raging on, relentless and unpunished. Where are the human rights activists? Nobody cares about this. The UN's not talking about it. UNRWA's not talking about it. Greta Thunberg's not talking about it. Nobody cares. You know why? The only reason they care about Gaza and all of that is it is a demonic hatred for the Jewish people. It is a demonic hatred for the people God chose thousands of years ago, hundreds and hundreds of years ago, to bring the Messiah into the world and to reveal himself to the world through. That's all it is. They don't care about Gazans. They don't care anything about Palestinians. All they care about, they don't even know what they care about, these people. They are inspired by demons and don't even know it. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Tucker Carlson. There are your headlines for the day. God bless you. Walk with Jesus. He's coming soon. It may get rough before he does, but it's coming soon.